A warm good afternoon to all of you. I, Himani Thakur, welcomes you all in the webinar session under Chetana, the Career Guidance webinar series organized by Shri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya. We are honored with the gracious presence of Mr. Rahul Burji, Data and AI Analyst IBM, Mr. Raman Puneet Singh, Data and Security Analyst IBM, and Ms. Shefali Datta, Student Advisor and Program Coordinator IBM, as our today's speakers. The topic of today's webinar is Futuristic Technologies and Job. We welcome you all for sharing your knowledge with us. Over to you, ma'am.
Thanks, Himani. Students are requested to confirm if my screen is visible. You may use chat window to confirm. Thank you. So I'll just give you a brief intro of what is IBM and why IBM has joined hands with SEEE and how this association is totally different than the programs are being offered in various institutions and university. So in our today's session, the topic is futuristic technology. The experts will be taking you to the scope of analytics and AI mainly. They'll be discussing with you that what kind of job roles are associated with analytics currently and what kind of job roles will be available after you pass out. So before we initiate that discussion, I'll be taking you to introduction to IBM. Would also be discussing with you that how the technology and trend got changed so that you will be easily able to link or make a link between the session which will be taken care by Raman Puneet Singh and Rahul Burji. And in case if you will have questions related to the session, you may feel free to add in the chat window. The time will be free from delivering the session. We will address all of your queries. There will be one short quiz also at the end of the session, and the quiz will be taken by Rahul Burji. He will ask you certain questions related to the session delivery. So kindly pay attention to the session carefully so that you can address or answer that question faster and with accuracy. Those who stand out to answer to that questions correctly and faster would receive a certificate of appreciation which will fall in your inbox in a week or 2 weeks time. So let me just take you to what IBM is so that you get to know the kind of association SEEE holds, and you will also get a view on what IBM is as an industry. And since you would have heard about that IBM is an MNC, now you will get to know what exactly the products and services IBM delivers. So first of all, it is important for you to know about the foundation of IBM, because once we get to know how old the company is, the trust automatically comes in the organization. So IBM was founded in the year 1911. Last week, IBM completed its 110 years. And when it comes to innovations of IBM, first typewriter, punch card, ATM machine, computers, then relational database, which is a part of BCA, MCA, as well as BTech curriculum, is also introduced by IBM. Then first Fortran language, which was a programming language, that was also introduced by IBM. IBM helped Microsoft honor Bill Gates to get licensing of its first application, which was Docs. Then when it comes to IBM usage in current scenario, then first online reservation system was made for America by IBM. And now you know that any Tom, Dick and Harry can create an online reservation system, which may be for movie ticket booking, airway, railway, etc. But when it was first created, that was by IBM in USA. And then the concept was further replicated among all other regions. Then similarly, you book tickets over IRCTC portal. I believe you would be knowing now how to do that. Or maybe using Paytm, you book a ticket, then you have to re-log into IRCTC portal. So IRCTC also, and Indian Railway, that means we use IBM server and database. So since the day they started using IBM server and database, they could give opportunity to the user to book the ticket themselves. So if you ask your grandparents, they had to stand in a big queue to book a ticket, and either they had to take help from an agent to book the tickets. But now it is possible due to a change in system. Now we need not to take help from agent. We can book it ourselves. We can cancel. We can modify and do a lot of stuff there. So this all is happening because change in server, change in database. And now on an average, lakhs of tickets are being booked on daily basis, and there is no clash of seat allocation as well as allocation of berth. So this all is happening only because of introduction of technology in government industries. Similarly, if we talk about banks, then there is NEFT and RTGS fund transfer system where we can transfer through net banking bulk amount as well. So there also there is a use of IBM software. In India, it is mandatory by Reserve Bank of India that they are to necessarily use IBM software, which costs 6 crore or plus. So all the banks, those who want to facilitate their customers with this service, they use that as a software. Similarly, WhatsApp was earlier using IBM Cloud. Now, since Facebook has decided to integrate WhatsApp and Facebook to have more user data base and to see that how they can make a synchronization between these two apps, now they decided to host it on their cloud. But earlier, I mean, since till 2020, it was being hosted on IBM Cloud platform. So like that, if we talk about India, there are over 5,000 companies which are using IBM technologies, and lakhs of companies across the world which are using IBM technology. So IBM has presence in 177 countries with its offices, which are closely 800 in number. IBM is called to be one of the organization which has registered maximum patent in the world and called as one of the world's largest organization. So currently, if we talk, there are 40,000 active patents of IBM for which IBM receives royalty on yearly basis. So this is how it happens, and these research also considers to generate for IBM a very good income in the form of royalty. So now why it was important for you to know, one is that you get to know that which kind of organization you are going to actually hook with. Second is that since you all might have had IBM as a dream company to work with, or if you did not have, now you will start dreaming to work with IBM because it holds more experience, it has more researches in place, it has more development in place. Third is that since there is an association between industry and academia, now it is important for you to know that what this association actually holds, which I'll be taking you to it further. But before that, I would wanted to show you a glimpse of the companies which are using IBM technology. Some of you might be familiar with HCL, Apple, then Accenture, LG, Lenovo, KPMG, KFC, Mindtree, Nestle, Motorola, WhatsApp, Renault, and all that. So like these, there are two types of company in the world. One is product-based company, the company which makes technology. So IBM falls under product-based company. And these are companies which you see on the deck are those companies which are using that technology that are called to be service-based company. So for them, the raw material supplier, that is server, software, database, systems, supplier is IBM. And these companies use that software and technology to give applications, to give projects, or to create platforms for industries like banking, insurance, hospitals, defense, aerospace, and so forth. So this is how industries are hooked with each other. So IBM, for IBM clients are these company, for these company clients are banking, insurance, hospital, defense, aerospace industry, and like that. So this is how each and every organization is interlinked. Now, why it is important for you to know? Because IBM jumped into academia with the reason that you know that there are so many colleges to choose from for a degree program. And since there is already a war between colleges, there's already a competition between graduates, it becomes very difficult for a degree holder, even with good academic scores, to grab a job opportunity because competition has become huge. There are so many degree providers in the world and in India especially, and lakhs of engineers even over 15 lakhs engineers are passing out every year. So what is unique in your degree and what is unique in your skills matters the most. Even the future employers, they want to see the skills, or they want to know you to work on those technology which they are actually working on. So if you don't have that skills, you won't even be getting an opportunity to be interviewed. Here I'm not saying that you are going to get a job, I'm saying opportunity to be interviewed will be entirely linked with if your resume will have a mention of the skills or the technologies which they are actually working on. But now the question arises that how a academic institution will get to know what all those skills are, what are all those technologies are, what are those software, because that software industry oriented would be ranging from lakhs to crore. How it is possible for a college to afford that, and how it is possible for them to deliver that? Because whenever we talk about any of the software, its features also keep on changing, because organization that is not the end of life. They will be keep on upgrading the software feature, they will be keep on updating its level, and also it is important for the faculty members to also pace up with that. So why we entered into academia with the view that we will shake hand with the institution to help bridging the gap between industry and academia, wherein IBM through its expertise will provision an institution with the lab facility with all those enterprise software, industry software which are being used by industry, and also with powered with industry experts who will come and teach out the program, so that you, while learning the degree program, you are also getting trained as per industry standard from day one. From first semester onwards, your degree is planned in such a fashion which is blended. University faculty, with their extensive experience and expertise in researches, they will take care of your foundation and intermediate level, whereas the topping of IBM industry experts will make you work on projects, will make you use of the softwares which are being used in industry, so that while working in the institution, you get the same look and feel which you are going to get once you work in an industry. So these helps in three ways. One, it gives you job opportunity. Second, it helps makes you to be ahead than a average engineer or a average graduate. Third is that since you are going to work with industry, which may be any, even for government job, private job, or across industry, it also provision you to retain yourself to the last level. By that I mean, during this pandemic situation, many people lost the job, but those who were actually knowing this technology or added value to the company haven't lost the job. So once you will know this software, you will know the functionality of this technology, you will be the last one to leave the organization. So you need not to worry too much about that you are going to lose the job. So this is how it is also going to benefit you. And fourth is that in future, because such programs are made as per the requirement of employer for future employees, these programs will enable you to do certain certifications which are industry endorsed and accepted by industry. You would be evident of a fact that one thing which has taken the space and power during this pandemic situation is IT. IT is in boom these days, and in IT sector, many jobs came across. Although, again, the jobs are only for highly skilled people, not for those who just have degree but they don't have the practical exposure or exposure onto the software which are actually used by industry. So, since IT is in boom, they are still hunting for resources who are enough skilled, and internet like technology is actually leading this technology to grow further. So these technologies are actually helping to create an ecosystem in the IT industry, and also helping to give new collar jobs in the market. So from next year onwards, there is an expectation that 65% of jobs which you see around yourself will no longer be available. There will be new collar jobs coming into place, which will be more linked to analytics, which will be more linked to AI, which will be more linked to IoT, which will be more linked to blockchain, full stack development, etc. So if you start preparing yourself right now, because the jobs will open up in 2022, and 2023 and 2024 will be the time when lakhs of jobs will be in place within India. So one thing which came as a blessing during COVID situation is internet. And due to use and rise in usage of internet, what has increased, that is the data. Now, earlier we Tata Sky used to think that they are the winner in the market, when in fact Airtel Dish TVs, Dish antennas, they thought that they are winner in the market because government banned cable connections. But on the contrary, nobody had thought that video streaming applications would actually take, uh, they will actually score well, or they will, the ball will be in their court. So nobody have ever imagined, because they thought that they will be the king in the market. But after that, video streaming apps like Netflix, Google Prime, Hotstar, etc., have taken all of their clients almost. So only our grandparents and sisters would like to see the serials which are running, from decades. But we would like to see short stories because we don't have time, and we would like to see new stories. So this is where our choice is based on. This is how they have become now the king in the market, and Tata Sky, Airtel are losing business big time. So only the thing here is that since the change happen in the technology, for an organization, it is also important to change with that time. Else, someone else will come into the market and will take their entire data of client. So this is where internet played a role, and this is where these new market players also have got the new clientage and have changed the way the people thought. So if you see here, in last year, 51% in television, there was a change that it has got to be connected with internet, which are called to be smart televisions, and the application which I have spoken about have actually taken the market. So but if you see, otherwise also smart speakers has also consumed the market as 22%, 18% by smartwatches. So this trend is in future is going to increase, but what it is producing in return, that is data, which Raman Puneet is going to discuss with you, what analytic is, what companies are actually going to do with the data. And since we hear a lot about AI in place, so since companies have started using the data to analyze what their customer want, not what they want to give to customer. So based on that, how are they creating automated system in which they don't require too much human involvement to do first 2 3 phase of interaction, and they make the AI enabled system to do that, so that they curtail the cost of a human being. The AI system is more prompt, the AI system data is also more reliable, and it also works 24 by 7. So then what kind of new jobs will come into market if AI will eat most of the jobs of lower skills level? That will be discussed by Rahul Burji with you, that how AI is changing the demand in the organization, and what exactly is going to be the designation of people afterwards. As I told you, IT is going to boom, so there will be no shortage of jobs in the market, but new collar job, new designations will come in the market, and the jobs will be more available for skilled people. Right now it is available for almost all who have hard working, little bit of capability, but in future it will be more for skilled people, skilled on latest technology. So that will be discussed with you by Rahul Burji. So over to you, Raman will take you to analytics layer and everything, and after that Rahul Burji will be giving you introduction to AI and how it is actually going to change the job roles in the market.
Thank you, Shefali. Thank you for the wonderful information. So I want all of you to pay attention. I'll just share the screen with you. Unfortunately, I guess my webcam is not working. Okay, so I guess the screen is visible to all of you now. Can I have a quick acknowledgement onto the chat window? The screen is visible. Yeah, thank you. So basically, today we are going to talk about analytics, and when analytics comes into the picture, what the very first thing which comes into the mind is data. Like in nowadays, if we talk about today's world, can you believe that more than 90% of the today's data has been generated over the past 2 years? Imagine that due to the pandemic, how much internet traffic has been increased, the use of OTT platforms, whether it can be used for entertainment, web series, how many new registrations have been done, how many new these platforms, the sales of the platforms, these being so high. Moreover, the use of mobile phones. Suddenly, there is a sudden growth into the use of the mobile phones due to the pandemic. And the more and more we are using the Internet of Things, or I should say, more and more we are using the smart devices, the devices which are being connected to Internet. and what we are producing? We are producing our data. Many of you are already aware that whether if we talk about the resources which are being provided free to us, like the IT big giants of the IT industries, like the Facebook is there, or WhatsApp is there, or Gmail is there, all these services they are providing us for free. Then what they are actually getting? They are getting the data of us, and they are dealing with the data. So much of data is there. Then you need a software, you need a combination of man and machine to analyze that data. Why the company uses analytics? Because once they analyze the data, they'll analyze their shortcomings, they'll analyze where they are actually lacking into the stuff, so that they can improve their decision making process, they can improve their growth, and ultimately they can have the profit for their organization. That is why analytics becomes very important, and data analyst becomes the valuable asset for their organization, as these are the persons who are responsible for creating, for having the growth of the company, for creating more and more profits over the for the company. So I'll just take you to the slide where you can actually see that how much data is being generated. So more than 50,000 GB per second, there is an estimated global traffic. Imagine that every day we create 2.5 quintillion bytes of data. A person generates 1100 terabyte of data in the lifespan. Just what is the value of 60 seconds into the IT industry, or into the industry where the data is a gold mine? Now, moreover, have you ever heard about the data leak scenarios? That MobiWik data has been leaked, Domino's data has been leaked. Recently, LinkedIn 500 million LinkedIn user data has been leaked. More recently, if I talk about 700 million salary information has been leaked for LinkedIn. So all these data leaks are happening, and why these data are being sold out into the black market of the internet? Because there are companies, or there are other persons who purchase that data, and they get the insights from the data. Let's take an example. Let's say there is a company who got a data of around 550 million people, which contains the mobile number and email ID. And let's suppose that company is a marketing company or a teleperformance company. So that will be a golden jackpot for that particular company. They'll simply clean the data, they'll send that data to the marketing team, and they can have more and more new customers which will be involving, which will be engaging with them, or which will be joining with that particular company. So that is a power of data in today's world. So importance of 60 seconds, 300 hours of video being uploaded over the YouTube. Can you imagine? 204 million emails were sent, 5 lakh comments posted on Facebook. We tend to use Facebook, and within 1 minute, 5 lakh comments are being posted on Facebook. So now the picture which comes is that how you need to analyze this data. Who are data analysts? Data analysts are the persons who actually extract the insights, or I should say what information which is being hidden inside the data. They uses the techniques, the tools, the architectures, then they made up a decision, a strategy for a company, and ultimately they lead to the growth of a company. I'll give you a very one layman example. Let's suppose you went to a grocery store, any kind of, let's say, any supermart or a grocery store you went, and you might have seen there are combo offers which are being provided to you. Now, how those combo offers came into picture, how the company checks that we need to go for a combo offer. Let's suppose there is a product P1, and the sales of that particular product is going down. So what they used to have it, they used to analyze the report that yes, the sales of this particular product is going down. Then they put up a decision, they'll analyze, they put up a decision, okay, let's do one thing, let's make a combination of this product and the product which is actually being sold out more frequently. Let's make a combination of it, and let's have an offer like save 10 rupees, 5 rupees, or 15 rupees, or 20 rupees. The very best example for this is you might have seen the combination or a combo offer of snacks, where a 5 different flavors of the snacks are being offered onto the supermart. And if you have, and it's like that, save so and so rupees on this combo offer, and every one of us tend to purchase that combo offer, just like that we are saving a 10 rupees bug, or we are saving 20 bucks or 30 bucks or 50 bucks, whatever. But have you ever realized that out of those particular five flavors, there are only three snacks were there which are being consumed on daily basis or more frequently, but two of them are there which are being rarely purchased. So it is a strategy of a company so that if that particular flavor is not being sold out, it will be sold out by combining it with the flavor which is sold, which is being purchased by the people more frequently. That is how these combo offers are being generated, and it is being generated by using the analysis part. They know that which the sales of which particular product is going down, the sales of which particular product is going up, the demand of which product is going up into that particular area. So more of it, it's just a very basic and layman example how data analysts work on. And I told you, with the evolution of Internet of Things, the devices, we talk about smartphones, smart houses, smart cities, smart bulbs, smart machines, we are talking about. So whatever this device we have, which is being connected to the internet, that particular device is generating a data, and that data will be taken care by the data analyst. So there are n number of IT giant companies who actually work on data, and data is one of the gold mine for those industries. For example, we have, so they are the recruiters of the data analyst. Now let's see who are the recruiters. If you are a good data analyst, you can have Amazon, e-commerce websites. There are, can you imagine that what number of the products are being sold out once the Amazon website got down? I'll just give you one layman example again, that once the Amazon website got down, and it got it's a long back, and it was down for around few hours, like might be some 10 to 12 hours. The amount of loss Amazon has is more than $20 billion during that particular time period. Okay, so that is the power of e-commerce, that Amazon is there, Deloitte is there, Spotify. Spotify is a platform where you can share the playlist, where the each person can share their personal playlist with the other person. So the data is being generated. You might have seen the data is being analyzed. You might have seen that different songs for different playlists were different members were there. How you got that? These are the top 10 songs. These are the top 10 albums. These are the top 10 artists. All these things are being analyzed and calculated. You have Uber, we have Google, Visa, Cisco, Apple, Microsoft, and other than these top recruiters or the recruiters which we are more familiar, we have very good recruiters as Palo Alto, we have Holliton, we have John Hopkins, we have Goldman Sachs, we have Xylotech, TagUp. So many companies are there which are actually having, which are actually want a person who is expertise into the data analyst. And these companies work on professional tools, work on enterprise tools. So you should know that how you can work on these tools in order to clear the interview of these companies, in order to get recruited by these companies. Because if you already know how, what is the working of that particular enterprise tool, that will be an add-on for you, and the company has not the company will not give you that much of training. They don't need that much of training which should given to you. So you have an add-on if you're going to learn these enterprise tools. You can even see the salary packages which are being offered. So Mu Sigma is there, Tata Consultancy is there, Accenture, Microsoft, Cognizant, Fractal Analytics is there. So the salary package is starting from the minimum 6 lakh of a package. Minimum. That is a minimum bar you can have for a good data analyst. And moreover, if you talk about the location wise, you can go for the packages. You can have Bangalore, Gurgaon, Hyderabad, Chennai, Mumbai. So different areas, Delhi, Noida is there. And it's just, you have no limit in case of the packages which are being offered. It totally depends upon your knowledge, what kind of skill set you pursue. If you have a good skill set, definitely you'll be going to pay as per your skill set. Just starting from the base of 6 lakh rupees, you can go as high as 20 lakh rupees or 40 lakh rupees or 35 lakh rupees, 45 lakh rupees. Totally depend upon the skill set, totally depend upon the certifications you have, totally depend upon the stuff that you have for the expertise of the data analyst. So in this case, this is all about the data analyst. If you have any questions regarding that how data analyst works, so you can ask. Open to questions now. Thank you all. Any questions from your side? Anyone has any kind of questions? I'm open to questions now. If anyone wants to ask any query regarding analytics. Okay, over to Rahul, Mr. Rahul.
Hi, hello, good afternoon, students. Let me share my screen. Can somebody please confirm that my screen is visible?
Yes, Rahul, your screen is visible. Thank you.
Okay. So let me do it at full screen. Okay, okay. So hello, students. Today, I want to take you to the introduction of artificial intelligence and what kind of job roles you will be getting and what kind of salary packages you will be having. Okay. So before discussing all of this, I want to take you through a scenario. Okay. So there is a person who will be sleeping. Okay. And generally what we do, we keep alarms or every day we keep just alarms, or if we want, whenever we want to wake up, we'll be waking up after half an hour or 1 hour. So it is going to, in the case of artificial intelligence, just imagine in future. So somebody is sleeping and the whole atmosphere will be turning, I mean, in the favor of himself to wake him up. There will be no force. So if you are using alarm or if somebody is calling you to wake you up or any of these kinds happen, or some noise is happening and that woke you up. So all that happens, I mean, it forces you out of your sleep. But in the case of artificial intelligence, it will work you, I mean, it will be working you like you need to have a natural wake up. Okay, nobody is going to force you up. So see, this in this scenario, when a person is sleeping, so it is 7 o'clock and the person needs to wake up. So the curtains will be opening up. Some light will be passing through that curtains, or the natural sunlight or the artificial light which resembles the sunlight, and some sounds will be playing, like a sound of sparrows or sound of cuckoo or something, like a rooster is making some sound or something kind of. And the smell, sometimes the smell also will be playing a major role in waking up. And not only that type of sound, if somebody, let's say some person will be like he he likes the music of violin or guitar, so that smoothly it will be playing, and after that it will make that person want to wake up himself, and he will be feeling much more energetic. So here the whole atmosphere turned itself into waking him up, but he will be not forced to woke up. Like he will be naturally, he will be waking up and he will be feeling energized. And whenever he goes into the bathroom, exactly what the temperature he wants, that temperature kind of water he will be getting, and he will not switch on the geyser and everything. All the controls will be controlled by an artificial intelligence system. So think of this scenario. What all will be working to make this happen? Exactly. So a camera should be working so to detect where the person is sleeping, and how where from where the sunlight should pass, and how the sunlight should be on his face and everything. And sound system, so artificial intelligence to detect that what type of sounds the person likes and play exactly the music so that he will wake at a certain time. And the smell, and so temperature control systems to control his water temperature and the room temperature. So exactly that he will wake up and he will go to the bathroom, and he will use that water. So he need not to waste his time over the thing, like he should wait for the water to heat up, or he should wait for the water to cold, like that. And whenever he walks into the kitchen, exactly his breakfast will be ready, and he will be eating it. So he will not spending any time in cooking or anything, like or baking something kind of. So the whole artificial intelligence will be working towards a person right from his waking up from the bed, and from sending him to office. So all these kinds of things happen when the artificial intelligence controls the physical devices also. So this is what is going to happen in the future. You may have seen in many movies also, but we have seen in a fashion of comedy. But this is exactly what is going to happen in the next few years, because the technology is exponentially improving, exponentially evolving. So that before 10 years, what the things were, and now what the things were, and after 10 years, you will be seeing there will be a tremendous change, that the technology will be improving in an exponential way, like tens and thousands times more of what we have today. So exactly that is what artificial intelligence is. So here the artificial intelligence is thinking of itself, what the person wants. Just like our mother used to care about ourselves. So she knows what we like. She will be cooking exactly the same thing. And she know at what temperature we'll be using the water for bath or something, washing our face and something. So exactly these all things will be taken care by artificial intelligence. So everybody, they will be using this artificial intelligence, and they can do their daily activities and everything. So exactly. So what happens? In human intelligence, we plan, we learn, we problem solve, we manipulate, and we use creativity, perception, and reasoning. So exactly these all things will be working in an artificial intelligence. As I said in the example, to make it happen, how many engineer needs to work? There will be thousands and lakhs of engineers who or scientists who will be working to make that happen. So when the customer will be experiencing these kinds of things, obviously the companies needs to deliver to that extent, and they need that many engineers or scientists to make that happen. So exactly the scenario will be going to happen in the few years. That means the engineers and scientists from now itself, they will be working towards artificial intelligence, analytics, data science, and all machine learning, deep learning. All these fields will be combinedly uh, they will be using into that scenario to make it happen. So exactly the scenario what we have used. Obviously, the whole artificial intelligence can't be sitting in a server in your house. No. So it will be the use of fast internet, so the fast processing power, and the whole artificial intelligence setup will be in a company's server. So it will be using a cloud platform. So every house will be using the same scenario, right? Everybody wants to wake up in that environment. So nobody should force us out. So in childhood, I was like forced out by my mother. Like you have seen in movies that heroines used to use a spray gun to water some plants. But in my house, my mother used to use that spray gun to wake up to me and my brother. So she used to call out, And if we don't listen and if we are still sleeping, then my mother used to sprinkle water on our faces to wake us up. So that is what exactly was happening. But now the scenario which I told, that will be happening in the future. So for that, we need artificial intelligence scientists, artificial intelligence engineers, machine learning engineers, and the data scientists. All of these people should be working together to make all this happen. Now already you have come across these devices where the personal assistant. So if you just say, Alexa, please play a song, then it will be playing. But before 5 years, we used to download each and every song in our laptop or into our phone, and we used to listen. Now everything it became Bluetooth headset, and we are listening directly to the cloud because internet has been induced into our lives to that extent that we use internet for everything. Before we used to use internet only for specific things, saying we need to download and use the stuff. But everything now we are using online. If there is no internet, we can't operate or something. Even a person can live up to 2 minutes without air, and up to 2 days without water, and up to 20 days without food. But not at 2 seconds a person can live without internet right now. So exactly that is what happening. So all the recommendation systems, before there used to be a salesman, now there is no salesman. So before there used to be a software which will be editing your pictures and everything. Now we don't have anything. We have filters, and we can just select the filters and we'll be using it. So all these are happening because of AI. So everything what Raman told you and everything what Shipali has explained you, all these things, the companies are making it happen, and all these things comes under the artificial intelligence. So it is not that a company using artificial intelligence means that everything it is using a part of artificial intelligence. That means each and every company now investing lakhs and billions of rupees into the development of AI and the products which concentrate in the specific field of AI. So see, these are the subsets of AI, and now exactly the companies are looking for a machine learning scientist. That means you good with machine learning. So when you learn this type of concepts, you need to focus onto the different, specific field. See, in your BTech, if you learn about natural language processing or artificial intelligence, we don't know, you will be working on machine learning, natural language processing, and speech recognition. But you know that where you will be good. Somebody will be good at natural language processing, and somebody will be good at speech recognition, and somebody will be good at machine learning or deep learning. So exactly, you can search for those companies using the language or using the specific algorithm or technology which you are proficient in. So obviously you will be getting a package of more than 10 lakhs, or you can go till 40 lakhs or 50 lakhs. There might be exceptional cases. You have heard that Microsoft have acquired a student with a package of 80 lakhs. So those are exceptional cases. But average, we will be getting more than 10 lakhs to 20 lakhs in between, average. So that is what in the coming years the companies are offering for all these job roles. So whatever the part of artificial intelligence is becoming a job. In data science and analytics, there are hundreds of jobs, and it will give rise to thousands of, not thousands, I can say lakhs, millions of job roles into this field, AI, data science, analytics, and everything. So what is analytics? It is nothing like when a machine analyzes something, a huge data. So that is what's called data analysis and artificial intelligence. It is using artificial intelligence, not human intelligence. We are making the artificial intelligence to analyze the things, segregate, so that we can make the decision. So we can improve the product. So we can concentrate on what type of services can we offer to the customers. Flying cars, self-driving cars, all of these. So the scenario which I told you, that is called smart home. So smart homes will be possible with IoT. So all this to happen, you need to have humongous amount of computing power. So quantum computing has been doing that. It is so fast that it is capable of what 100 supercomputers can give. A quantum computer can quantum computer is able to give all that. It can be able to deliver all that amount of processing power. So we are evolving. The technology is evolving, so that the jobs are also evolving, and the job roles and the packages, everything is evolved. Everything we are on the high rise. So the customer base is also increasing. That means the consumer base is also increasing. So we are going into the developing platform. So we are evolving that much that we require more and more amount of manpower to make all this happen. So even if you work, let's say you are working as a speech recognition analyst in a company. So you also want the smart home or the AI in your home, and you want to use self-driving car also, right, in the future. So exactly. So everybody will be start using, and everybody will start contributing towards the growth. So that is what is going to happen. And if you don't make a step into AI, so that is your fault. So you will be lacking behind. So please make a decision and take your step into the AI, and learn the things which are being implemented in the industry. So because why we are actually inducing these specializations, because when you use these types of software, and the industries will be using these software, and when you know how to use a software, whenever the industry wants to recruit you, they will be knowing that, okay, in this specific tool, let's say the IBM software we have, you are specialized in an IBM software, have a certification, and IBM has certified you that, yeah, this so and so person, Rahul, he is an IBM Cognos analyst, and IBM has certified that. So whoever is using IBM Cognos software, whatever the business is using IBM Cognos software, will be competitively, they will be hiring one on the other. They will be giving the packages like, Rahul, I will give you 10 lakhs package, and the other company says, I will give you 15 lakhs package, because I know how to use the software, and he wants the person to use the software and give him the decision making insight. So exactly, when you have that sort of knowledge into these kinds of fields, companies will be they will be in a competition to hire you, because manpower is less in the industry. We need to have more and more people. So that is what will be happening. That is what is happening in the current industry, and it will give rise to more and more opportunities. So these are just an example cases where right now the artificial intelligence is being used. But believe me, each and every sector, what not, each and every sector, they will be inducing some amount of artificial intelligence, or whatever the specific part of artificial intelligence they will be using. Now there is a need for them to use. So take your steps and learn the courses, and happy learning. Thank you. If you have any queries into AI, please post in the chat box. I'm happy to answer. Yes, student. How to build own artificial intelligence startup company. See, exactly this is what exactly I was talking about. Okay, let me give an example. Okay, we use AI chatbot. Okay, so tomorrow you own a series of restaurants, or let's say a pizza, like a Domino's pizza. So you own a Burj Pizza, okay, restaurant chain, okay, fast food chain. So there you need, to accept huge orders, because you have that chain. So that means all over India you are having 1,000 outlets. Okay, let's say 1,000 outlets. So how do you service all those people who will be ordering from you? So you need to use AI chatbots, because if people need to take orders, there should be people only can communicate one on one. So at a time, only one order can be taken by one person. But if there is an artificial intelligence, the whole 1,000 outlets, they can take any number of orders at any point of time, or at a time they can take n number of orders, whatever the orders the customers are giving. So that is only possible because of the AI chatbot. So it will take the order by itself, the artificial intelligence. So there you will be having a huge number of orders, and you can make all those manpower into uh, delivering that order, right? So instead of taking that order. So there you have used artificial intelligence in your startup company. It is true that AI's progress can be tracked only to a fixed phase. After that, it gets unexplainable. No, actually, those all are like, see, whatever we saw in the movies, some part of it is going to happen, but most of it will be in our control itself. So many people, they talk about if we give powers to AI, if AI is so much progress, and after that it won't be in our control. No, it can be. So that is what the scientists and everybody are working. So you need to learn, and you need to overcome this problem, and you need to find out the solution for yourself. So that is what will be going to happen, and you will be a part of it, and you will be understanding it, how it can be possible. So many more people are working towards that. So whenever there is a question rises, so and number of numerous scientists will be working to solve that particular problem or the question which is arrived. So they will be thinking it in a form of hypothesis. So will that be happening or not? Is it true or not? If it is true, how can we control it? So that is what. So we may find a number of challenges when we go into a path. So that doesn't mean that we will be stopping at a point. We will be finding a solution how not to stop, how to cross, overcome. So that is the case in artificial intelligence. Any other questions, students? Okay. So if there are no questions, over to you, Mr. Pali.
Thanks, Rahul. Any question by any student over any technology, even other than what is being covered? You may now share the questions.
Ma'am, one question is there in the Q&A tab.
Yeah. So the question is, would you tell us different types of AI? Is the question?
That's what I told you. Everything, wherever there is no interface, no interference of a human, that comes under artificial intelligence. AI chatbot, I said. So different types in the sense, you can say like, see in the scenario which I told you in the starting, it a waking of a person naturally. So there, curtains will be opening on itself. So how it will be happening? So the AI will tell the motors to what extent to open the curtain, how much amount of light to enter into a specific room. So that is a type of AI, and whatever the temperature control system is there, that is a part of AI, and whatever the sounds it will be playing, so that will be speech recognition and the sound music AI. It will be producing music. So that is a part of AI. So we have different types of AI into the market. Self-driving car. So AI will be driving your car, right? So it will be using some amount of input, and it will be driving your car. So all these are types of AI.
Yeah, so in nutshell, whenever we put human intelligence into a system, it's called as artificial intelligence. So it can be anything which we are making live in respect to making the electronics work as per our command, or making a system to work as per command, or it can be anything wherever we have made the system to do most of the tasks which were earlier being performed by a human being. Can be taken as an example in types of AI. Any other question by anybody around analytics you may raise? because as Raman Puneet has shared. Now, there's one more thing which I would want to add here. Like, let's say Rahul Buji has shared with you that the automated cars are also called as artificial intelligence, or the cars which we have been talking about, which can be now self-operated, the cars which we can unlock through mobile phones. Now, the job of analyst would remain evergreen, because if we make even AI machine to work in place, still the jobs for analyst would remain there, because whenever any organization introduce a technology, they reanalyze that what are the gaps in that technology, what is the client demand, can we accelerate the response time of the technology. For that purpose also they would need an analyst, so that any technology which has come across, that is not end of the life. Still, there are a lot many things which can be enhanced, featureized into the existing application. For that, they require analysts to help them to do that, so that they can enhance the experience. For an instance, if we take example of Google Maps, Google Assistant, so it is not new right now. It was there, but what has increased, what features have been enabled now which were not existing, is also done or analyzed by an analyst and then implemented by an expert, a person who was at a front end in developing that application. But what to be added, what kind of user experience should be given, unique in nature or so, is analyzed by analysts. So that's why we say any application which takes place even in future would require a person to work at the back end to analyze their data, to suggest what or else can be done to make the user experience to be better or excellent. So that's why analyst job would remain as is. Even take example of Netflix, Hotstar, Primes. So the kind of recommendations you see are entirely based on what kind of searches you have made, what kind of serial you have seen, what were your reviews, for how long you have stayed in a particular link. So based on that, they give you only those things which you would like to see, not what they want to sell. So this user experience is also a part of analytics, whereas we have embedded AI as a technology into it to have you or to have you experience recommendation based on your taste and touch, not based on what is organization want to sell. But whenever they create new featured series, new featured episodes, that they do based on what maximum people like to watch, and are those people have subscribed to premium account or free account. So like that they do analytics to judge out what to be given maximum. But again, the kind of user experience you get on homepage is entirely based on your choices, and that also how they can make it more interactive, more creative, is again a role of analysts to do that, so that they can give the feedback to the developer to enhance the feature and its capabilities. Okay, so there is another question was about what are the tools in analytics. That was the question I just read somewhere. Okay, what are the tools
I have answered actually.
Analysts use? Okay, so you have replied already, Raman.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So there are various tools which analysts use based on the data, based on the kind of outcome they expect to do. Some of are already highlighted by Raman here in the dash, here in the chatbot. So now, in case if you have any other query, you may raise. But again, if you think to be a data analyst, you think to be an AI expert, you need to first undergo prerequisite. There are few fundamental things which you should necessarily know before you jump to call yourself as an expert in that space. So that's why when we talk about a generic degree program, it is not capable to make you meet all those demands. So that's why we call the specialized degree programs are as fast track degree program, which introduce and ensure that your foundation level touch to be expert in that technology is done within 1 year or so that you can jump onto intermediate level of that technology and further to it, which is advanced level. For example, to work on AI or to work on analytics, if you really want to be a thorough professional, you should know how cloud application development takes place. So normally in a nomenclature, in a normal curriculum by any college or university, you are generally exposed to these platforms maybe in third year and fourth year. But here we give you exposure onto it either in third semester or fourth semester, so that you are already well versed with that and you are ready to work or choose a career path as an analyst or as an AI expert or as maybe a blockchain developer and so forth. So these all things, even before that, knowledge of OOPS is required. So we ensure that you have undergone Python, you are undergone Java, so that you don't face any challenge. And during the degree program, you undergo all these things in one way. So Karthik has responded, Facebook also bring AI to control fake news and or fake post. Yeah, it happens. It's not just Facebook, it's everybody. So analytics works in 5 fashion. There are 5 V's for analytics. One is the mean, which is veracity. Veracity mean the data from where organization actually do research is genuine or not. Because many a time people even post a blog, and blogs are normally there is no assurance that whether the blog is genuine or the information kept there is accurate, or this is just to make you visit to another website or so forth, which has virus or maybe multiple ads, etc. So the major challenge which comes for an analyst is veracity. There's a lot of data. There is incompleteness in the data. There are many fake accounts. There are many fake posts. There are many posts which actually hamper the social, religion, or maybe a personal life of a person. So how they can filter that out so that they don't use it as a part of their research is the major challenge which analysts face. But although there are many keywords came in place, there are many software which help to do that. But as an analyst, I am to command that software that what all filters they are to find in the data, so that they filter out those data which is questionable, which might not be genuine, and they do more of research on the data which they find as genuine. So yes, it's not just Facebook, it is being done by almost all the companies which are live, which are over social platforms, or which are over internet. So even if for a website, for that matter, let's take example of SVV, there might be various fake people, or there might be various spam who are trying to register over contact us page or wherever they find to fill a form. So how they can figure that out, how they can block that particular IDs, or how they can block that particular domain. So for that also they should have that feature in place, else their site will be easily hacked. So similar way, every organization have their different parameter to select that. For an analyst also there is a different parameter, because they are to exclude those information, those data which they find is fake and which might actually impact on the results of the analytics which they are performing. So it is not just a particular organization. By this I mean it is done by most of the organization. So either they, even let's say I'm to do research on how many people actually post video. So what kind of keywords I will be using, then I need to also see what kind of videos are those, whether the videos are blurred or that videos are fine. So for that also I will have different filters, different softwares in place. So this is how it functions. So the entire field is so vast that you would actually experience when you will have different set of database where you would find the even entire information is incomplete. So you won't use it as a part of your analytics, because it might impact on the decisions you are drawing through that analysis. And similarly, for example, for Facebook, Insta, there are so many fake accounts also, which we ourselves would have created. One is genuine me, another 2 or 3 are fake accounts created by me to actually attack on the accounts of my friends, to know what they are doing, with whom they are chatting, and it can be of any reason. So they also filter out that accounts which are actually not genuine me, so that they do not concentrate too much on that. And they also, put as or they may block those accounts if needed, because they are finding that the account is speaking either or breaching the rule of posts in that account, or is not a genuine account, or is actually hampering people live by posting some personal comments on people like that. Any other question by anyone? Any other question? So there is one about AI security, although someone has not elaborated too much. Let me just share, whenever we talk about any application around, the security would become a challenge. So there are also ample jobs available in the market around security, or going to come around security, because there is huge shortage of skills who know how to secure these applications. In futures, the theft or the robbers, or you can say people who would actually unethically perform the practices, would be one who would do breach in security, find bug in the application system, and would maybe entirely hack the system which would lead the organizations to have their information compromised. So in such a case, there is a urge and requirement for people who know security. That's why even we have one program around blockchain, which we have introduced, wherein you will also work on the concepts of cyber security, security intelligence, and you would also create an application around blockchain concept. And that application precisely would be more secure, because it will be encrypted, it will have various blocks, it will have various codes, and it will have a different way of uh, doing transactions, putting information, so that nobody, even if any third party would tend to change the information, the person already being notified about that. So maybe creating a stronger application which at least can protect the information to be compromised is one of the technology which is coming in play with, that is blockchain. The entire concept, one of the example is Bitcoin, which is already there, you would have heard of. Similar way, right now we don't have a control on who is the owner of a particular property. Some people, they fudge the documents, etc. But with the help of blockchain coming into place, we'll be able to even see the records 100 years back, and nobody would be able to change that. Because any person who try to put information about changes in ownership will be kept in the new ledger and will create a new box, basically block. So now the old blocks won't change, so anybody would be able to track down the information. Similarly, the food which we eat, we are not sure that how much organic it is. In future, you would be able to see from the farmer till the grocery store how the food has come, how the food was made, and how much organic it is. All that information will come into your place, and nobody will be able to change that information. So another step to protect these applications to be hacked, compromised, blockchain has come as a technology. However, there will be, because developers sometimes they leave some bugs while creating an application, defects, and some clues through which a third party may steal the information, for which there are already security systems in the organization which 24/7 see that if there is any malware happening, or anybody who is not authorized to access the system is trying to access the system, so that they deny and they take action before anything wrong happens. However, you would have also heard about many security breaches happening already. But again, if there will be any security breach, organization, application, the culture, the environment will become more strengthened. So I'm not saying that it will entirely protect the system or work culture of all the organizations. Those who are actually using high-end security system are able to protect the information, because now data is going to be everything. Data is going to be the bread and butter for the organization. So they are doing all the measures to protect those information with the help of advancement in the software and tools and technology. So I think that's it. There is no further question. I would request Rahul to ask you certain questions really from the session, and those who stand out to attempt those questions faster as well as with accuracy will win a certificate of appreciation. So kindly pay attention to the questions which are being asked by Rahul. There will be only limited questions which will be asked by him. Be active in replying to those questions, and use always full form, because those who will be using short form will be rejected, and those who will use the full form and if they answer with accuracy will be considered to be a winner and will be given a certificate of appreciation. Over to you, Rahul.
Okay, students. I guess you are ready. Okay, my first question is, when Raman was talking about salary packages, what is the minimum package he mentioned? When Raman was talking about packages, salary packages that different types of roles would get, what is the minimum package that a person would get in the field of analytics? What is the minimum package he mentioned? Please write it in the chat box. Yes, Bhavya Agarwal. Bhavya, you have won this certificate of appreciation. So you mentioned it correct. Minimum 6 lakhs. Okay. Yeah, you need to be fast, students, and please be alert on the chat panel. Okay, your second question. In my session, I told I have showed you one screen. Okay, where it says deep learning is a part of machine learning. Is it true or false? Deep learning is a part of machine learning. Is it true or false? I have displayed that slide.
Please use chat window to answer.
Okay. So Kinjal Dongre. So we have won the certificate. Okay, let me note it down. Okay. Over to your third question. So one student have asked me, I guess his name is Sohail. So he asked me how to build own artificial intelligence startup company. So what example I have given? I mean, what type of AI example I have given? Example about chatbot. So it is not chatbot, it is chatbot, Pratik. Okay, but since nobody have answered, I will consider you as a winner. So Pratik, so AI chatbot is the thing which I have suggested because of the chain of, I guess, like if he has a chain of restaurants like pizza, so he can use AI chatbot. So that is what I have given him. Somebody is complaining about chat option. Chat option is disabled. I'm not able to send message. You can open Q&A and you can type your answer. Okay. And your last question. Okay. How will you record a ledger which you can't change? What is the name of the technology which Ms. Shifali have mentioned? What is the name of technology where you can't change the ledger and the transactions and everything? Yes, Gautam Sharma, you have answered correct answer, blockchain. So the student Bhavya Agarwal and Kinjal Domre and Pratik Panwar, Gautam Sharma, please share your full name along with the email ID so that we can email you the certificate of appreciation in 2 weeks or so. Please share your full name along with the email ID so we can share you the certificate of appreciation in 2 weeks or so.
So thanks everyone for your active participation. We'll be also having forthcoming session where we are going to give you a hands-on exposure onto how such applications are being created so that you actually get to know about the platform and front and back end of application. So tune to the updates of SBBB wherein you will get to know about our upcoming and forthcoming sessions, which would help you to know more about technologies, and then you can choose the career path accordingly.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am.
You all.
Hello. Thank you so much. I want to thanks on behalf of Vice Chancellor of the University and the Director of the Vaishnav Institute of Information Technology, Dr. Ananda Jawad, to the all IBM experts, Ms. Shefali Datta ma'am, Mr. Rahul Gulji, and Mr. Raman Puneet Singh sir, for sharing so much informative knowledge about all the future technologies. So once again, thank you so much. And I thanks to
Thank
all
you,
the
everyone.
participants for being part of this session. And we will have much beneficial sessions in future also.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, all of you, for imparting your knowledge with us. It was a wonderful session. Now, I would request all the participants to fill the feedback form through the link that is mentioned in the chat box to get their e-certificate. Thank you all for being with us for the webinar. Have a nice day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks, Imani. Thanks, students, for being an active participants. You may also study about the technology so that you can raise more questions going ahead. And thanks to SVV for a kind support in helping us to organize such session. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.